better on Monday, but T-Mac, just in terms of what you guys saw even before the draft and everything, what does he bring to the table?
Yeah, I was impressed with T-Mac's tape and knew Jed Fish pretty well. That had worked with him at Arizona and just said it was really, really good athlete. Could be darn good hooper, volleyball, whatever he kind of wanted to do, he was good at. We watched him throw a ball, it was pretty impressive too. So, got to be ready for any kind of those trick plays, situations, whatever it is. But he can go up and make one-on-one contested plays. He's a big, long frame that has a large catch radius, and I think he's going to be a darn good player in this league.
When you have big physical receivers like him, Xavier Legette, what kind of challenges can they present for your DBs?
That's right. I mean, we've got to be able to make it harder on them with changing the picture because they are younger, and try to give them different looks potentially, and so not everything they're seeing is exactly what they are expecting to get at times, and also, doing a good job within our zones, getting hands-on reroutes, things like that. I mean, when they're bigger dudes, you worry about at the catch point at times, like because of the size and the frame. So we've got to do a great job playing through their hands when we are at the point of attack, playing through our hands, playing with great technique. But those guys probably have to take that a little bit personal in the DB room.
Can you get 4 running backs active on game day, and what would be the way you would kind of go through to decide?
Yeah, you
yes
can.
or no?
You can. I mean, they have to contribute on teams. And that's the big part of it is the special teams availability and dependability, and those things. And then obviously, what's the role? I mean, does that mean we're going to rotate 4 backs getting carries? I can't say that. But you can if they're productive on teams and can help us in those areas, and then also have a role within the offense. So that's the kind of challenge we're working through right now, is getting through some of that stuff. But it's definitely doable. It's just is that the best thing for the team?
And I would assume having Travis to kind of take 2 spots sort of helps that math a little bit.
It does. There's a few other positions that you have some math issues as well, but it definitely helps with the ability for Travis to play, kind of fill up 2 spots, so that we can have that flexibility with that other position, possibly running back.
Transitioning from the grind of training camp to week 1 prep, to beat around guys like McVay and Todd Bowles kind of give you a blueprint for how to do that effectively?
Yeah, those guys both led in very different ways, but got very similar responses from their players. And just keeping in mind the rhythm of the week and the monotony of the week, and trying to keep things fresh for these guys, and to not completely crush them in the meeting room settings so that they're just sitting there for endless hours watching tape. So trying to create different scenarios, situationals, walkthroughs, different settings to where we can continue our active learning and get these guys up on their feet a little bit, get them off their feet. Both guys did it very differently, but I texted Sean last night and said, so much of what I learned from you, for that time gets put into work every day. And that was pretty cool to see.
You talked about getting more knowledge about this team when the games start. So how much do you know about this team right now, week 1?
I think they've responded to challenges thus far that I've been proud of. Kind of everything that we've asked them to do in so many ways, they've really worked their tails off to do, which we've all appreciated as coaches. Is it, the finished final product that we're all hunting up? No, it's not, but that's the beauty of it. But I do think that it's a group that understands that they have an opportunity to improve, that we all have an opportunity to improve, and improve our play style and the way that we finish, the way that we play the game. I've been pleased with their response to that. How we handle a turnover or a touchdown, given up, or a fumble. Like, how are we going to respond? You don't truly know. But thus far, from everything I've seen, I've appreciated their response.
Coach, as we get closer, piggyback on what John said, you had opening days before. This is your first one as the head coach. Is there a word you can use to kind of describe it? Is it excitement, anxiety, or?
Yeah, I think I was talking to a friend of mine in California last night on the ride home at like 11:30, and he was just saying you got to take a moment to take that in. I definitely didn't do that for the first 3 preseason games. So I do have to take it in, and it's a cool moment for me personally and professionally, but also to do it with the guys that I'm able to do it with here in the building. Tony, James, the coaching staff, the people here have been nothing but extremely supportive and appreciative of that. So, and to try to give the community and the fan base a product that they're proud of, I think that's kind of what weighs on you a little bit, is you're excited to see your players go out and play. You're curious to see the responses to adversity and the challenges within a game, but you're eager to go and try to put a product on the field that people are proud of.
What kind of strides has Brenton Strange made for you over the last month since camp began?
I think there's a pretty natural trust level between him and the quarterback, for sure. Him and Trevor have a good feel on some specific routes that they've had some success with over the course of the last 5 months or whatever it's been, 6 months. And so I think there's also a trust, I know, between Trevor that Brenton's going to be in the right place at the right time. The accountability piece, the play style, there's a lot of respect there mutually, I think. And when he's gotten the opportunities, he's made plays and he's caught the ball, been aggressive with his hands. And I'm excited to see him with the ball in his hands in space a little. We see how people have to go and tackle him because he is a violent runner when he does get the ball in his hands. So I'm excited to kind of see how he's able to help us on Sunday.
You mentioned.
What kind of difference could Travis Etienne make in terms of being able to flex him around, move him around, just all the different things that you like to do with running backs?
Yeah, that's an evolution. Like so much of what we were able to do last year in Tampa with those backs kind of evolved, right? And so week 1, Travis has been able to give us an opportunity to do that. Like he's lined up in multiple different spots and handled the workload that we've given him that is different than just lining up either behind the quarterback or next to him. So I've appreciated that, how much he's been able to do, and it also helps us in the screen game, the pass game, because he can catch it and make people miss in space. So he's been a good pro for us, man. Like I've been really appreciative of the way he's gone about his work and gone about it. He was here yesterday. Him and Tank were in here yesterday and getting some extra work in. So we've got to use him as a guy that can help make plays, because there's only so many plays you can dial. All right, if they have to be able to do something with the ball to be special, to continue to take the offense to the next level and turn those 10-play drives into 4-play, 5-play drives, to where we can create some explosives and not just get what the run kind of should get, or the pass.
You mentioned the unknown of how the team will respond to adversity. Everything's kind of unknown, but is there a couple of things that you're more maybe concerned or curious about in terms of the unknown heading in?
You're always curious how you'll be able to run the football physically against another opponent, because you've gone against your own team and you get used to that, and so you get an evaluation only kind of based on yourselves in a few small samples in the preseason, like running the ball for 4 quarters effectively, staying with it, grinding it out when you got to get north of 30 carries maybe to go win the game. And you're unsure of what that looks like. I have confidence and belief, but you're not sure what that would truly look like. And then making plays on the perimeter, right? Like that's something that you hope will show up, right? When a 50-50 ball opportunity comes, or the ball's in the air, like are we coming down with it, or are they making a play on it? I think that's something that you're eager to go see as well.
Are there any unknowns that you have about yourself, or questions about yourself, like how you're going to handle certain things for the first time?
No, I don't. We've kind of talked about some of the 4th down stuff a little, and I think some of the preseason we've been able to get a few reps at if we want to be aggressive or not, and what that looks like in the game is always where it kind of changes. You have a philosophy on a mindset on these things, but like we talked about, we have Cam that can kick it, we have Logan that can punt it. So the weather, the conditions, how they're playing defensively, like these are the things that are going through my mind right now when it comes to some of the situational football that just doesn't leave your brain, that's continuously thinking about throughout the work week. And shoot, some of it doesn't even come up, but you're going through it. You know, we'll do a situational masters meeting on Friday with the players, and then I'll get with John Dykema and Shane Waldron on Saturday, and we'll do a whole nother kind of game management meeting where, because that's the unknown for me, I haven't had to make those decisions in a game when it comes to the timeouts, the 2-point conversions, the 4th downs, and all that. So, you know, that's a little unknown, but you're trying to get reps of it throughout the week and as well on Saturday.
You're leaning on John for that? Mostly, you're leaning on John for that, for the guy
So
up in the booth calling?
that's right, John Dykema and Shane, kind of, you know, John, I did it in Detroit, you know, for those guys, and he's really sharp, very, very intelligent. So have trusted the data and information that we've been providing, they've been providing for me, and they've had a great collaboration on that when it comes to the situational stuff, game management.
You've talked about the
This has
team
got to be the last one.
Yeah.
constantly needing to grow and improve, but is there a confidence that going into week 1 that this team can get the job done in a game that they need to win?
Yeah, there is confidence. I mean, when we've executed in 3 phases the way that we'd like to execute every play, it can look darn good. You know, it can. And then when if we shoot ourselves in the foot or have pre-snaps or, you know, don't take care of the football or whatever it is, you know, it's going to be a tough day. Those things are hard to overcome. And so we've talked about this from day one. Before we can really focus on and beat another opponent, we have got to stop beating ourselves. And that's something that ultimately, you know, can creep in. Like, it can happen, but we're trying to obviously stay in the positive growth mindset and, okay, how do we handle the next play? Like, as coaches, we're caddies on game day in a lot of ways. Like, next shot, next club, next play, move on. Like, we got to move on. Regardless of what just happened, good, bad, or indifferent, we got to move on. So, you know, I think those are some of the things that you're looking for, that you're confident, though, in terms of you seeing what it looks like when we execute at a high level. Everybody's communicating at a high level what it could be. How do we do that more consistently through 4 quarters? And then, hey, we have a bad quarter, we have a bad half. Well, the game's not over, you know, so how do we continue to respond?
Thanks, Coach.